Hi, good morning. Thank you guys for watching Your Come Up. On Your Come Up, we talk about all topics to help you come up: business, finance, personal, spiritual, and physical. Today, we have a returning guest, co-founder of Book Thinkers. Morning, Ryan. How you doing today?
Good morning, Nate. It's always a pleasure to have the chance to connect with you on this podcast. So thank you.
Oh, man, I appreciate you coming back. At Book Thinkers, you guys specialize with personal development. You guys read a lot of personal development books for reviews, for authors, as well as other book-related endeavors as well. How many personal development books would you say you have read? Rough count, not holding you to it.
Does Audible count?
Audible definitely counts.
200.
200? Okay. I don't sense no cap on that. All right, cool. So based on what you've read and your life experiences, what are some underrated skills in life?
You know, man, I learned so much from books, and I'm so grateful for books. But I also learned so much from mentors, from experience, from the journey, and having courage in the journey, enjoying the come up. I think my skill set of having courage is bold. It's so valuable. Being able to be vulnerable means that you're confident in yourself. That is just incredible. That means you've done a lot of inner work, or you've got someone who really loves you, or you found a way to really love yourself. And man, I mean, all the business books and personal development books you read, we integrate little things from. So I don't know how I would grow the Book Thinkers business without the frameworks that I found in books. I don't even know what I would do, honestly. So, like courage, vulnerability are huge for me. And ultimately just finding a way to be yourself. And the thing that I love about books generally is that you can pick up a book and you can feel more at home. You know, you can feel heard, even though the book's not even talking to you. You're just reading it.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I'm definitely more of an Audible person. Speaking of Audible, I think one of the most underrated skills in life, you're from the East Coast, in Colombia, and I hear that Colombian honking back there.
All day long.
Probably learning how to be stuck in traffic is underrated, because you are going to be stuck in traffic at some point or another. Because, I'm from Palm Springs. There's little to no traffic out here, hardly, except for certain highways. And then when I went to school in Orange County, guess what? Traffic is, you got to time your day. Fridays at 12 p.m., people are leaving work to go home early, and guess what? There's traffic. So Audible wasn't around at the time, and I used to have a little road rage about it. And then I just learned it seems like in California, compared to being stuck in traffic in the East Coast, they're a little bit more aggressive. In California, it's like, all right, come in, merge, we're in this together kind of thing, Whenever there was someone acting like a dick on the freeway, I just kind of have a sense of humor about it, which that's also, in my opinion, an underrated skill where, you know what, I forgive them. They probably have to go home and poop or something. So that's part of why they're driving like that.
Yeah, I find humor in like the worst situations, which is definitely a skill.
I don't know. I just kind of learned just to laugh it off a little bit.
Yeah, I used to have a fridge magnet that said, "Oh shit." Every day I wake up, growing this startup, I go over the fridge, I get a coffee, and I'm like, oh shit, what am I about to do today?
It's always cool having conversations with people, but it's another underrated skill, learning when to shut up and learning when to, cut out. Like for my first job in college, conversations in the workplace was probably just a couple minutes, and then after that, it was always at 10, 15 seconds of awkward silence where it's like, damn, I can't just cut out now because now it's awkward as hell. Or I should have cut out 30 seconds ago when the conversation ends. So it's like learning when to speak and learn when to shut up.
I'll give you some more underrated ideas if that's cool.
Yeah.
Active listening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, man, if there's a skill set that's good, get that one. I just had an interview with this guy who wrote Not Doing List. His name is Alex Bant, and it's catapult your career by upping your no game. I still remember my corporate career, like my boss would, I ended up giving him all my clients because I didn't want to deal with them because it took the investment of my time for the return just wasn't there. And so I'm constantly saying no. Like the fact I'm even on this podcast is a salute to you.
I appreciate it, man.
What you do in our friendship, because I'm always saying no to things. You gotta say no if you want to get what you want in life.
Learning when to say no, because it might affect your inner peace, and that you can't put a price on because you're saying yes to everything. So I have no time for me, And that's probably another underrated skill, learning how to be alone. Because, I mean, come on, there's more peace that way. And then there's also balancing when to hang out, when to do work, when to have fun with friends and family, and when to just say, hey, I'd rather just kick it by myself for a minute.
Another underrated skill is being a leader, because regardless of if it's a leadership in your relationship or your parenthood or your business, you know, it's not easy to be a good leader. And I consider myself naturally a good leader because of the character I've had the opportunity to develop. But man, I rate my leadership qualities and it's like a 60. I'm like, how am I a 60? I'm a better leader than this guy. I might take over Colombia with my leadership.
I know.
But yeah, like being a good leader is a really tough thing, but a really great skill set.
Speaking of being a good leader, let's say when you're building a business like you and your partner with Good Thinkers, one person can build a business to a certain, let's say $1 million business. You could probably do that solo, depending on what it is. But to catapult it and scale it to 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, leadership comes into play, because now you really got to learn how to manage people, because you're dealing with personalities and dealing with people that have the same vision and goals as you do to scale that business to a wider revenue stream, you know? So, for sure.
Yeah, and you have to be humble enough to say, potentially, that I'm not even the guy to carry forward this vision. You know, there's that element too, where you start to grow your business and you're like, other CEOs who have done this really successfully in the past, that have all the connections, that'll know exactly what to do. I might not even be the guy. And just to have that as a, reality is part of being a leader. It's being able to put the vision first.
Oh, for sure. And by the way, if anyone's watching, comment below, let us know what your thoughts on underrated skills, or any underrated skills that we mentioned here that you would like to see Ryan and I break down in a future video. To thank our sponsors for today's video, Yapix Web Design and Graphics, and also Rated Comics, for allowing me to film in their comic book store location. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.